Guys, I'm back again. YouTube's N'Golo Kante. Now, I've done the Q&A, but a lot of you have gone on my various social media platforms and messaging services and hit me up and said you got questions, and there's too many of you, and I feel like a bad guy waiting until Sunday. Q&A, again, part 2 on a Friday. I mean, YouTube's N'Golo Kante, you didn't expect that, but I hope I've given you guys some quality to watch, man. Obviously, before I start, Sunday is still going ahead. Get them questions in, get them questions in. Get them questions in. Wow, I've never been so close. That's weird. I ain't doing that again. But ask them questions, man. If I've missed you out, I'm sorry. Clearly, I've shown that I go above and beyond to try and make sure I don't, and it's not on purpose. So get them questions in. No question is too big or too small. No question is stupid. We're not like other YouTube accounts and things like that. We're not here to make jokes, and well, we do make jokes and we do have witty banter, but we're here to talk facts and learn a thing and them things there. Enough waffling, man. It's there again. Let's do this, man. Oh, yeah, good evening as well, people, man. Pardon me. Igal Ibrahim asks, my guy, he's always asking questions, man. Shout out to you, man. Do you play FPL fantasy football? Can you make a league for your subs? Yeah, I can, man. Do you guys want it in January? We can do a halfway season thing, or we can just wait till next season. It's up to you. Hit me up if that's what you guys want, man. Boombox DG asks, could you make a video explaining on what the other players, in brackets, ones already in the squad were like with the new try list? Because in my experience, already signed players try to test the try list a lot. He's obviously speaking in regards to a video I did giving my experiences about Spurs and other clubs. So, yeah. To explain it here, I'd say, of course you get that. Of course, man. Like, if I look back at Spurs, of course, you can see that people eyeing you, trying to test your touch. There was a drill as well where, as a warm-up, you work in 2/3s, depending on the numbers, where you warm up, you do some passes between each other, like you pass and move, go up and down, passing, 2-touch, 1-touch, getting a feel for the ball and things like that. And as we were doing that, a guy, I won't name him, he actually went Enfield Grammar. He's actually quite cool. He's like, I work with you. I said, who are you talking to? He's like, you. I was like, you never address me like that. I'm not a waste man. Then after that, we started passing. Actually became good friends as well, to be honest with you. But they do eye you up. They do want to see your touch. You do hear things like, oh, why is he here? Not to me, but why is he here? Who's he? He ain't good enough. He's not going to make it. It does happen. Even at Norseman and them and All Stars, I mean, they're grassroots clubs. They're no one clubs. Like, no one can be a pro from that club unless you get scouted. But when people came on trial and tried to get into the team, me and several of my teammates had that same mentality. People at the Premier League division have that. It doesn't matter if you play for Manchester United or Harlow Town, you're gonna have that, man. It's basic human behaviors and things. You're gonna feel threatened. Not even that. Any workplace as well, you're gonna feel that as well. Hopefully that answers your question, man. So yeah, Tariq Amazing, my guy. He's got several questions. Would this City team beat 04 Invincibles? It would be a fantastic game, man. I mean, Pep Guardiola and all of them things with Arsene Wenger. That was almost Wenger in his prime, where it was the Wenger ball with the physique to match. I'm an Arsenal man. Of course, I'm gonna say Arsenal would beat them. Actually, maybe even comfortably, to be honest with you. But City could go toe to toe. I think Arsenal would win because of the Arsenal bias, obviously, because of Thierry Henry, because of Patrick Vieira, the steal in the midfield, because the back four was definitely better than City's back four now. Maybe not necessarily player-wise, but they were collectively better, so that would allow us, because City do give away chances. Look at how they beat United. They still gave away chances, and United had the shooting boots on. They could have scored. And there's several other games they've done that. Obviously, Arsenal are the same. Arsenal, we got many draws in that which we should have won. It'll be a fantastic game. The likes of Kevin versus Vieira. It'll be a fantastic game, and City could win it. But I'm an Arsenal man, so of course I'm gonna say Arsenal Invincibles would win and convincingly win. Man, my heart is speaking right now. Thoughts on Manchester City being labelled the best Prem side ever? Well, to be honest, if they go and win the league, I don't agree with it necessarily, because I don't really think there is one. It depends on how you look at things. You could say they are there. They could gain that status. I do think it's a bit OTT. They are going to win the league at this moment in time. They are running away with the league, but until they actually win it, before they go through the end of the season, I think it's a bit rich to be saying all of these things. Like, I heard one of the best sides in Europe. I actually saw on BBC, they said that this City side is it up there with Barcelona of Pep. How much trophies did Pep Guardiola's side win? Of Barcelona. Come on now, it's a bit OTT. For me, if they keep this up and they either remain undefeated or going, if I don't know if for maths and them things, but if they go and get 90 points and things like that, they definitely have a case. Now, the Chelsea side that retained the title the season after Jose returned, came to the club. He went to the his first spell. Sorry, you know how they retained the title the season after. That season before, where they won it for the first time, for him first time. Fantastic side. I swear they got 90 plus points, least away, goals conceded in the league, least goals conceded away from home, most wins, all of that sort of stuff. I'm pretty sure it went to the Chelsea side. So for me, they have a case of being the best side ever. Obviously, the Invincibles, without a doubt, have a case to be there. Manchester United 1999 have a case to be there because obviously we're speaking in regards to a singular season in the league, but they won 3 trophies. 2 of them 3 sides, I wish it was Arsenal, also retained the league. Of course, we're speaking again in regards to a singular season, so it's not really fair to mention that. But there's several other things before you can start shouting things. But so you definitely deserve to be in the conversation, in my opinion. I wouldn't necessarily agree, but I can't fault if they go and win the league, get 90 points or undefeated and things like that. And on to that, out of the 3 in the treble and 04 and what's the one I'm missing out? The Chelsea side. I've made a video about this before, which I don't have a problem with. If you're a United fan, you're gonna obviously say the treble's the best. Arsenal, Invincibles, Chelsea, that madness, and they all have different individual cases to be the best. So if a Man United fan or someone says X, Y, and Z that's different to me, you can't really fault it, to be honest with you. But I'm an Arsenal man. I'm obviously gonna say play on the unbeaten thing and play on the fact that it's an Arsenal side. So yeah, last time we won the league as well. So yeah, man. I don't necessarily agree. You've got another question. Worst signings ever by Wenger? Well, there's many, but you've put me on the spot, man. I say Pascal Silgan, Schillaci, Sylvester. Gallas probably the crappiest for me, not based on ability, just because of the way the man carried himself and behaved disgracefully. You wouldn't have thought he was a league title winner at Chelsea. You wouldn't have thought several things with the way he behaved, and I'll never forgive that man. Obviously, I think Ali Adier was quite crap. I can't lie to you. There's Bishkroff. There's Yaya Sanogo, obviously he scored against Dortmund, bigger games than certain strikers at other clubs could see. Richard Wright, Santos, Pennant, Vivas, Jeffers. There's many different players, man. And if I could sit down and think about it a bit more, I'd come up with some better names. Almunia as well. But yeah, man. Hopefully that answers your questions, bro. And thank you very much for all you guys that asked these questions. Without you, this thing can't happen. Jaden Sanjo asks, why are teams so scared to move for Mahrez? Bro, I wish I knew the same thing, man. Maybe it's a bit of a risk, man. You got to take a risk. Look at Liverpool. I'm not comparing the players, but look at Liverpool taking the risk. They took a risk on Salah, who was labelled a Premier League flop. People were saying Salah's a racehorse. He's not intelligent. Now, look, okay, he could have a couple of barren spells. It's his first season at Liverpool, first season back in the Prem for a while. He could go through a dry patch, but where's all them nonsenses now? Them same ones that were saying Salah's best to sign of the season. They took a risk. People were saying it was overpriced, 40 million on Salah. And I was actually saying that as well, because I rate Salah. If you've been preening for the last 2 years, you have to rate, man. He's getting these goals. I did think it was a tiny bit overpriced at the time. But is it overpriced now? No. No. I wasn't necessarily right or wrong, but that's the fact that the matter is. He's now hit his heights. Mane did the same. I believed in Mane. That case was different. But people were saying the same thing. Now, them 2 players have gone hit the heights and proven they can can hold their own at this level. Now what? Mahrez is a year older than them, 26 in the prime of his career, 27 in February. This is now or never. For the last 3 years, bar that mad season where they done crap, Leicester had a poor season. Even then he delivered. He's been delivering. He's been showing that he can do this thing. Like I said in the video, he's dyed his hair blonde and he's scoring goals. What more can he do to get noticed? I just feel people see him as, definitely in Arsenal's case, see him as a safe bet in that. I agree. If we're getting quoted 40-50, then I might as well try and get Fekir for 60 or around that same price or whatever. You might as well try and get it. And then these teams are, obviously we just signed Lacazette, but these teams are slightly harder to deal with because they know the worth of their player. I'm not saying Leicester don't know the worth of Mahrez, but it probably is a safe option if that you could go within 2 weeks, say to Leicester, okay, let's stop messing around. I'm going to give you 40 million for Mahrez. Mahrez obviously probably has a gentleman's agreement to leave, and it can get done quite quickly. The difference is they're just higher spectrum players that clubs are probably trying to get, and they see him as a backup option or something like that. But some backup option to have, to be honest with you. I wish I understood, man. You got another question. Who's going to be the next James Rodriguez and secure a big move in the World Cup? Well, I'm a big fan of documenting. I can't really give you that, bro. I'm keen to see and I'm excited to see who does that, but I can give you players I think profiles could raise as a result of a good World Cup. Lemos, Uruguayan centre-half of Las Palmas, his profile could rise. Zachariah of Switzerland, and Bolo, if he goes, could do the same as well. A couple Moroccan players like Amrabat of Feyenoord. Harriet of Schalke. Who else is there, man? I think I wrote one down. Valverde of Madrid. Yeah, man, a lot of them Croatian players as well. Martins and Guedes of Portugal. Portugal, whether that's PSG keeping faith in him because he's someone I've rated for a while since his Benfica days, or he secures a move. There's quite a lot of young, good Portuguese players. Whether they get into the World Cup squad or not is a different story. But yeah, man, I'm keen to see. There's a lot of Croatian players as well that could get moved. But yeah, man, I'm keen to see, bro. Yeah, I think that's you with all the questions. Yeah, that's you with all the questions. Thank you very much for your questions. Rex117 asks, sorry, pardon me, that was not what you said. Where would Nzonzi fit in our team if we signed him? Obviously, bro, middle of the park. He's not really, he is a physical presence, but he's got more to his game. So he'll be that physical presence, but he'll be a good passer too. Someone that's available for a pass, someone that intercepts, someone that drives the ball forward. He's improved technically at Seville as well. He's always been good technically, but look at his building. Receives the ball off the centre half and tries to get it forward. He'll be that mobile force to be with Xhaka or Ramsey or whoever. Personally, if we were to sign him, it should be a quick 4-3-3 thing. You've got him, you've got Wilshere, you've got Ramsey. You can go box to box. You can slot in Ozil there on paper because he's still here. Fantastic options for free in the midfield. Games where we need to shout out, Coquelin might not be the best, but if there's a game where we just need to get the result, you've now opened it up to Nzonzi, Coquelin and El Nene. If you're not expecting to dominate the midfield, it's about different options in different games and being cerebral. This is another case of which I'm saying as to why we can't win the league, because you've seen, well, you ain't really seen Pep, but I'm so sure the season before he did it, Pep, Jose, and a couple of Conte to a degree, they'll get players man-marked and do certain sort of things. We don't really do that. We're an open book as a club, really. We might play counter-attacking football and things like against Spurs, like against Munich a couple of years ago, like against Barcelona in the defeat. We might change up, like against United, and like a couple of years ago, last year, at home. Like a couple games, we'll show you where we play different. We'll play counter-attacking football and we'll turn up. But 9 times out of 10, we're an open book. We know we're going to try. You come here or we go to you, we'll try playing neat little football and you do your job. It's very much playing Arsenal. It's a case of the other team doing their job and they have half a chance rather than focusing on us. And that's one reason we are a big club, but we're not a top club in the Premier League anymore like that. Like, yeah, man. Depressing stuff. Hopefully that answers your question. Thoughts on AFC, you've also got another one. Thoughts on Arsenal bidding for Delight from Ajax? Well, he's got a lot of admirers from Barcelona to Dortmund. You see my vids, I've been calling for this man for time. I really want the kid. That's a step in the right direction. He's 18, so we've got to be careful. And he's a very good player. I think he's good enough to start. But you need to understand that he'll come with mistakes. He does make mistakes that don't get spoken about. And the pressure and things like that. I would love to sign him, but at the same time, we need a centre-half in their prime bit of their career ready to step in like Koulibaly or something like that. But I'd want him. Listen, I'll drive this guy from Holland myself if I could, boy. So, yeah. How do you feel about Maitland-Niles getting praised by Match of the Day when he's out of position? That's my guy, man. Get you, man. Gaza. Maitland-Niles did his thing. One of the best players, if not the best Arsenal player in that draw against Hammers. So he deserves his praise. He's been playing at left-back. We all know he's not a left-back. And there's going to be games he gets destroyed. But he deserves his praise, and rightly so. He's one of the better players for us. For me, personally, Bellerin out of the side and put him at right back for the game against Newcastle because positions are earned, not just kept for the sake of keeping it. And maybe Bellerin's bubble will get burst and take him out of this complacency thing. So, yeah, man. Hopefully that answers your question. We've got a final question from Top Bin Football. Hi, enjoy some of your vids. Keep up the good work. Love, my G. You should see, instead of some, that should be all, but love, my guy. If you could only re-sign one, who would it be out of Alexis or Ozil? It's Ozil for me. His style of play has more longevity than Alexis. Well, again, I've been over this bare times. It's a case of, I know he ain't scoring and assisting too much this year, but it's a case of that output versus the well-organised engine that Ozil is, always making a right pass, being a creative hub of our team. At this moment in time, I believe both are going, but I do believe if you were to sit down with one, Ozil might be more open to what you have to say than Alexis. So with that in mind, I'd say Mesut Ozil as well, bro. So, yeah. Hopefully that answers everybody's questions. Apologies for missing you out the first time. Get in the comments with questions for Sunday or it's not going to happen, of course. Guys, DG, thank you very much. Enjoy your Friday. I'm out.